Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Joseph Ward, and welcome back to my On the Shoulders of Giants channel. It's been a while since I talked to you. I come out every now and then and give information when I get the spirit, and I got the spirit now to go ahead and give you some information on what I just watched yesterday. I sat down and watched the whole series because I want to give a fair critique of this self-made series, the Netflix movie about Madam C.J. Walker. I'm a fan of telling black stories, but I'm an even bigger fan of telling black stories the correct way. And one of the biggest things that disappointed me about this film or this series on Netflix was the information it gave, or the narrative that was driven during the series. It was bothersome to me. Couple narratives that were bothersome to me. One narrative that was bothersome is the rift between Annie Malone, or as they said in the series, Addie Monroe, and Madam C.J. Walker. Just their rift between them two as individuals. The light skin, dark skin rift. That was another thing that was bothersome to me. And the fact that they just decided not to tell the truth. Not to tell the story the right way. So, the young lady who, I can't remember her name, but the young lady who played Addie Monroe, who's supposed to be Annie Malone. And if you want to learn more about Annie Malone, just click the link right up here, whatever side the damn link come on, but make sure you click the link to learn more about Annie Malone. So, on her Instagram page, she has a post talking about how the character of Addie Monroe and the story behind the relationship between Addie Monroe and Sarah Breedlove, aka Madam C.J. Walker, was created. It's not historically correct, but it was created to move the story along. So I'm like, huh? So is the original story not good enough to be given? Because it's dangerous to me, especially as a historian, as somebody who takes the time, not claiming I know everything, but I do take the time to study history as thoroughly as I can. And I understand the damage mistelling a story can do. It can do a lot of damage. And us as black people in America, we already have a history of white people telling our stories wrong. So in this, I thought it was crazy that you had a group of black people, from my research, and I could be wrong, but from my research, the director was black, the writers was black, producers was black. Producers were LeBron James, Maverick Carter, Octavia Spencer herself. So it was a core of black people who had a hand in making this movie happen. And they all came to the consensus that it was better to not tell the true story, the true story would have been an uplifting story about two black women millionaires who helped spur the black hair care industry in America. That's a great story to tell. That's a beautiful story to tell. I don't understand why that story was so hard not to tell. Because when you say we created this character and this storyline to move the story along, my first question, or the first thought that comes in my mind, is, are your writers not good enough to write the story as it is and make it good? I mean, the fact that you were inspired by Madam C.J. Walker's story overall shows you that the story had to be good. Hell, it inspired you. But for a dramatic effect, or for the Hollywood effect, they decided to add this piece to where Addie Monroe was the adversary to Sarah Breedlove, or Madam C.J. Walker. Now, they did have beef at some point. It wasn't all dramatized, dramatic up all the way they showed it in the Netflix special. They did have a beef at one point, and I can recall from the information that I've come across that Annie Malone had to copyright her products because of some of the rift that she had with Madam C.J. Walker. But eventually they was able to work their things out. But the story or the relationship between Annie Malone, who is the true character, and Madam C.J. Walker, like I said earlier, is two great stories about black women who were pioneers in the black haircut industry, who were able to make great strides. I don't see how the hell that was too hard to tell. Like, this Hollywood stuff got to stop, man. Like, it's crazy. So if you want to learn more about Madam C.J. Walker, click the link. Whichever side the link gonna come up, click the link so you can get the Madam C.J. Walker video, right? Because I told the story of both Annie Malone and Madam C.J. Walker. I learned about Annie Malone's story. My mind was blown. And then so I wanted to make sure I tell Madam C.J. Walker's story as well. And from the information that I gathered from both, it wasn't like they were mortal enemies. They had beef, but they wasn't mortal enemies, like the Netflix movie shows. Also, the light-skin, dark-skin complex. Also, Annie Malone was not a light-skinned biracial woman either. Annie Malone was a brown-skinned, dark-skinned black woman herself. So that Addie Monroe character was totally fabricated. To me, that Addie Monroe character was unnecessary. I just think it's irresponsible to tell lies, especially when black people have their hand in it. When you have a opportunity to tell black stories and you don't tell them correct, I just feel like it's very irresponsible, especially with the history that we have in America of white people being very irresponsible with black stories and telling them incorrect. But the motive behind that is to help to maintain white supremacy and help to maintain the image of a lesser person, of somebody who's inferior to the white man. But my thing is, so what's the agenda behind this with the black folk? Because the black folk who helped put this together was that. And then, like I say, the light skin, dark skin thing, how the hell you gonna have a light skin, dark skin rift, and Annie Malone ain't even light skinned? So y'all they created this bull. They created this. They created this bull to help move the story along, to make it more dramatic. Man, that's trash. That's trash. Like, y'all ain't got to do all that to make the story happen. Just tell the story. Like, it's a great story of two black women who did their thing. Like, how is that not inspiring to black women and black people, period? How is telling the story the way it's supposed to be told not inspiring? If it was so good to make you want to make this, should have been good enough to tell the right way. That's crazy to me. I don't understand how we got from that point to this point, because they say it was inspired by the book. So with it being inspired by the book, that means that they can take the story and just flip it how they want to. And they took that story and they flipped it and ripped it and sipped it and dipped it all. And I'm just like, come on. I'm sitting there watching it because I suffered through the first episode. Because I caught the historical inaccuracies from the jump. I'm like, man, this is wild. What I did like, though, was them showing Sarah Breedlove's tenacity. Her tenacity to make things happen in her life. I did like that. Of course, you know, Blair Underwood was in it. So whenever Blair Underwood is in a movie, 90 to 95% of the time, he's playing a messed up black dude or a bad husband, bad boyfriend or something like that. You know he gonna cheat on somebody, and he either gonna beat somebody up, cheat on somebody or something like that. So when I saw that with Blair Underwood, I was like, well, I already know what role he playing. Tiffany Haddish, you know, she was in it. I ain't got nothing good or bad to say. She was in it. The movie was, the series rather was, it was okay. I probably wouldn't show it to my children, to my daughters. I probably wouldn't show it to them. I watched it. I probably wouldn't watch it again on my own. If I had watched it again to get more information or to see something I didn't see or something like that, I probably wouldn't watch it again on my own, because I just feel like from a historical standpoint it could have been better. Uh, I'm not. I don't make movies, so I'm not going to sit here and try to critique it from a cinematic standpoint as if I could do better. Because hell, I can't. I don't make movies. So I'm not even going to try to tread into somebody else's category and critique their work from that. I can't say it's not the best I've seen. Could have been better, but it ain't the best I've seen. But from a historical standpoint, I just thought it was very irresponsible to blatantly tell an inaccurate story just to get dramatic effect. That's bull. Like that's really what we are as black people right now. When we get the chance to make our own, we still do the same thing we've been complaining about white folk doing to our stories. We do the same thing to it. Like Addie Monroe didn't need to exist. You could have told the story of Annie Malone, and the fact that you had to create the character of Addie Monroe. You had to go that far to create Addie Monroe. You couldn't use the name Annie Malone because you knew you would probably get sued for that. But you had to create Addie Monroe to push that narrative. So you went out of your way, deliberate actions, to say, hey, we're going to tell this story this way instead of telling the story the correct way. I just think that's irresponsible. Yes, there is a light skin, dark skin complex that does happen within Black America. We know that. We've seen it over and over and over again. But there's a way to portray that. There's a way to portray that. I encourage people to do their own research on Annie Malone and Sarah Breedlove, aka Madam C.J. Walker. Once you can go to my website and check out the information I've come across, www.ontheshoulders1.com. You can, like I say, check the videos out. They're gonna be on the end screens as well. Descriptions in the, links in the descriptions and all that. It's very irresponsible to tell a story wrong purposely when you have the resources, an abundance of resources to get the information right. I'm like, hell, LeBron James, Maverick Carter, Octavia Spencer, Bill Bellamy, Tiffany Haddish, and everybody else that was all jumbled up within that to make that happen. You mean to tell me out of all the money y'all got, it's like probably over $1 billion put together to make that happen, just collectively with the people who are involved in it. And you deliberately told the story wrong. I'm like, hell, I don't have a quarter of the resources you all have, and I told the story as right as I could. Like, I just feel it's irresponsible. So just because a product is coming from a black person doesn't mean we have to celebrate it, or from black people doesn't mean we have to celebrate it, especially when we see the inaccuracies in it. Don't be afraid to stand up, stand out, speak up, and speak out when you see something that ain't right. Now, I'm not saying, I ain't telling nobody what to do, whether to watch it or to not watch it. That's not the purpose of this video. I'm just telling you my review on it and why the issue I have with it. So I ain't telling nobody to watch it or don't watch it. What I am saying is if you do watch it, it's full of historical inaccuracies that were purposely put in there just to get dramatic effect that I think is very unnecessary. Do your own research. Read and research for yourself. Don't let nobody keep just telling you stuff. Because somebody shot me a message on social media talking about according to the Netflix documentary, this and this. Now I'm like, according to the Netflix documentary, nobody give a damn about no damn Netflix documentary. Do your research? No, seriously though, no disrespect to anybody, but you have to do your research though. You have to do your research. They told the story wrong on purpose. That's what my disdain, not to the person who said that message, but to Netflix, because they deliberately told the story wrong, which is irresponsible. So yes, I understand what that person was saying. According to the documentary, this is the information it's given. But damn them, because they gave it wrong on purpose. And the question is, was it really that serious for you to tell the story that wrong? Just think about it. Just think about it, man. Remember, do your own research, and we got to tell our own stories, but hey, we got to tell them right. Joseph Ward on the Shoulders of Giants. You can support me on Patreon. If you want more information, you want to make sure that you want to help this platform grow, patreon.com/OTSOG, where it really go down. I appreciate everybody who support me, who subscribe, and who keep telling others about this channel, who keep watching my videos. I love you all, and I'm just have more information coming for you. Peace out.